two nations, a shared history, an enmity that has endured for decades. The India-Pakistan rivalry is not just a regional concern, it is a global flashpoint. At its heart lies a complex web of historical grievances, political disputes, and military tensions. This volatile mix has brought the two nuclear-armed neighbors to the brink of war on multiple occasions, casting a long shadow over South Asia and, well, the world. The stakes are higher than ever. The consequences of conflict unimaginable. This is the story of a rivalry that has come to define a subcontinent. It is a story of partition, war, and the enduring quest for peace. It is a story that continues to unfold in 2025, with new dangers emerging in the digital age. The seeds of conflict were sown in the blood-soaked summer of 1947. The British Raj, which had ruled India for 2 centuries, was coming to an end. The Indian subcontinent was partitioned into 2 independent states, India and Pakistan. The partition was meant to be a peaceful separation. It turned into a nightmare. Millions of Hindus, Muslims and Sikhs found themselves on the wrong side of the newly drawn borders. Mass migrations ensued, accompanied by horrific violence. Over 1 million people were killed in the ensuing chaos. The scars of partition run deep, shaping the psyches of both nations for generations to come. The trauma of 1947 continues to poison relations between India and Pakistan. It is the bitter legacy that fuels the rivalry to this day. At the heart of the India-Pakistan rivalry lies the disputed territory of Kashmir. A picturesque region in the Himalayas, Kashmir has been a source of conflict since the very birth of the two nations. In 1947, the Hindu ruler of the Muslim-majority princely state of Jammu and Kashmir acceded to India. This triggered the first of 3 major wars between India and Pakistan over Kashmir. The conflict over Kashmir is not merely a territorial dispute. It is a clash of ideologies and national identities. For India, Kashmir is an integral part of its secular democracy. For Pakistan, it is an unfinished business of partition, a Muslim-majority region that should have been part of its territory. The Kashmir conflict has claimed countless lives, fueled an arms race, and poisoned relations between the two neighbors. It remains the most dangerous flashpoint in South Asia. The India-Pakistan rivalry took a dangerous turn in the 21st century with the rise of terrorism. Pakistan-based terrorist groups such as Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed have carried out numerous attacks on Indian soil. These attacks have resulted in the deaths of hundreds of innocent civilians. The 2008 Mumbai attacks, in which 10 Pakistani terrorists laid siege to India's financial capital for 3 days, killing over 170 people, marked a turning point. The attacks sent shockwaves across the world and brought India and Pakistan to the brink of war. The Pulwama attack in 2019, in which a suicide bomber killed 40 Indian paramilitary personnel, further escalated tensions. India responded with airstrikes on an alleged terrorist camp inside Pakistan. The cycle of violence continues to this day, with both sides accusing each other of sponsoring terrorism. Section 5, 2025, A New Age of Warfare. The year is 2025. The India-Pakistan rivalry has entered a new and even more dangerous phase. While the threat of conventional warfare looms large, a new battleground has emerged: cyberspace. Both countries have invested heavily in their cyber capabilities, engaging in a constant game of espionage, sabotage, and propaganda. Data breaches, infrastructure disruptions, and disinformation campaigns have become commonplace. Alongside cyber warfare, border skirmishes have intensified. The line of control, which divides Kashmir between India and Pakistan, has become a hotbed of artillery exchanges and rifle fire. Drone infiltrations are also on the rise, with both sides using unmanned aerial vehicles for surveillance and targeted strikes. The use of drones has added a new dimension to the conflict, raising the stakes and increasing the risk of miscalculation. Section 6. A world-divided geopolitics of the rivalry. The India-Pakistan rivalry is not just a bilateral issue, it is deeply intertwined with the geopolitical dynamics of the region and the world. Pakistan, facing economic challenges and international isolation, has increasingly turned towards China for support. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure project, has deepened their ties. Pakistan also receives military aid and diplomatic backing from China, which views India as a strategic rival. India, on the other hand, has strengthened its alliances with the United States, Japan and Australia under the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, or Quad. India sees the Quad as a counterweight to China's growing influence in the Indo-Pacific region. The rivalry between India and Pakistan has thus become entangled in the broader competition between the United States and China, adding another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation. Section 7. Economic warfare, a new battleground. The India-Pakistan rivalry is not limited to the battlefield or cyberspace, it also plays out in the economic sphere. India, with its booming economy and growing global influence, has emerged as an economic powerhouse. Pakistan, on the other hand, faces significant economic challenges, including high inflation, low foreign investment, and a heavy debt burden. Following the Pulwama attack in 2019, India revoked Pakistan's most favored nation status and imposed high tariffs on Pakistani goods. Pakistan retaliated with similar measures, effectively ending bilateral trade. The two countries have also engaged in cultural boycotts, with India banning Pakistani artists from working in Bollywood, and Pakistan banning Indian films from being screened in its cinemas. The economic and cultural fallout of the rivalry has further strained relations and hampered regional cooperation. Section 8. The long shadow of conflict and uncertain future. The India-Pakistan rivalry casts a long shadow over South Asia and the world. The two nuclear-armed neighbors have fought 4 wars and engaged in countless skirmishes and standoffs. The threat of a full-blown conflict remains a constant danger. The consequences of such a conflict would be catastrophic, not just for the region but for the entire world. The path forward is fraught with challenges. Decades of mistrust, entrenched positions, and the involvement of external actors complicate the search for a lasting solution. Yet the need for dialogue, diplomacy, and a commitment to peaceful coexistence has never been greater. The future of South Asia, and indeed the world, may depend on it.